Back in Dallas, getting set for the first meeting of two this season between the Rangers and Dallas Stars. Closed captioning tonight is brought to you by the New York Lottery. Hey, you never know. Check out our Land Rover scouting report, and we want to take a look at a man that they brought in here to Dallas to be a big part of their team, and that's longtime Ottawa Senator Jason Spezza.
Yeah, it's taken him a little bit of time. He's having to adjust to the Western Conference, which he told us this morning. It's tighter checking. There's not as much room as what he had in the Eastern Conference, so it's been a bit of an adjustment for him, but loves it here in Dallas.
We're underway. The Rangers played well here last year. The Rangers start the game with Derek Brassard centering Rick Nash and Matt Zuccarello. Dan Boyle on the ice with Mark Stahl. He started the game with Girardi and McDonough. Mark Stahl with the puck. Starting lineup coming in at the top of your screen are presented by Infinity. Luxury cars that deliver inspired performance.
Yeah, Alain Vigneault talked about to his team today. He said this is a defense group for Dallas that you really have to be aware of. They're going to come, they're going to join the rush. They've got a couple of new young players on that defense sixum that we'll talk about during the course of this game. And again, the big thing with Dallas is that they've had trouble defending. And so if you play well defensively against them and counterattack, the Rangers should get plenty of chances in this game. And Dallas talked about their last game, and you mentioned, Sam, in St. Louis. They won 4-3. And they said it was one of their better defensive efforts. They still gave up 34 shots and blocked 22 shots. That's still a lot of chances against. That man's a good coach. He sure is a good coach, and he's making an adjustment to some new personnel. And as we talked about earlier, when your goalie is not quite at the top of his game, it's difficult to win in this league.
Girardi and McDonough back on the ice. Into the corner, Jamie Benn fires, and it was blocked. Comes out in front. Rick Nash is there to take it. Nash, Zuccarello and Brassard back on. Puck played around the boards to Colton Sevier, number 22.
And interesting, a defense change for the Rangers when the Ben-Sagan line was on the ice.
Jason Spezza, number 90, is on with upstate New York man Eric Cole. Good friend. Lashinsky is on as well, number 83. Eric Cole wears 72. Stepan with a drop. Saved by Lettinen. First big chance. And Stepan just wound up with the big slap shot.
Yeah, turnover in the neutral zone. One of the Ranger forwards just poked the puck away, and Stepan was able to find it and have some room.
Out in front of him, chance there for Hemsky, but it went off his stick. Back pass to a point. Jiri Jokipaka from Finland. That's a name you'll hear throughout the evening because I love to say it.
He's one of those young defensemen, Sam, and we talked about. He's more of a defensive type player.
And he able to get into the head with Sean Horkoff. Trevor Daley shot stopped by Lundqvist, who holds it.
And go back to the chance first that Derek Stepan had, and it was a good play by John Moore in the neutral zone. John Moore right there just pokes the puck off the stick of Hemsky, who's had a tough season. That gives Derek Stepan the opportunity, and Lettinen makes a good save. Stepan head up all the way, hard rising shot. He's a big kid, Lettinen, isn't he? He takes up a lot of space.
Vernon Fiddler on, number 38, against Dominic Moore. Rangers have Dominic Moore with JT Miller, who's back in the lineup. Jesper Fast, a healthy scratch. Tanner Glass, the other wing. Girardi and McDonough on defense. Miller tries to move it, took a hit from Jordan Benn, number 24. Jordan Benn, the defenseman of the brother pair. Jamie Benn plays up front. Fiddler in the corner, checked by Tanner Glass, who knocked him down, takes the puck away. Good play by Glass. And here's JT Miller. Rangers won both meetings between these two teams last year by identical 3-2 scores, with Henrik Lundqvist stopping 63 of 67 shots. Last here in the first period. The game here, Dallas had, I think, 22 or 23 shots in the first period. Lundqvist up 22. There's Jamie Benn on the off wing here. Drives hard to the net. And it slid off his stick as he was checked by McDonough. Goligoski playing it across. That's deflected off the glass. Benn is there to play back to Alex Goligoski. That shot off the glove of Lundqvist into the corner.
He picked it up late.
Sagan checked there by Kevin Klein. On the shot that was blocked and deflected into the corner. Sent toward the net, good play by Kevin Hayes. Rangers have Hayes, Stepniak, and Hagelin. Good job by McDonough to get it out to Hagelin. Hagelin across. Long shot glove by Lettinen, and he holds it.
Boy, it looked like Jamie Benn had a step on Ryan McDonough, and McDonough recovered just enough to disrupt Jamie Benn. Oh, he's big and strong, can handle the puck, and then there's the play by McDonough. Just gets his stick on the stick of Benn, who then lost the puck. And there you see what he's done against the Rangers. He has 302 points in his career.
The only team in the NHL he hasn't scored a point against. Antoine Roussel's pass across. Cody Eakin, number 20, is after Mark Stahl. Brassard finds the man, and is brought out by Dan Boyle. Zuccarello. Boyle goes deep to the net, sticked aside by Lettinen, played by Brassard with Cody Eakin on him. Now Zuccarello around the net. Somebody's glove is down on the ice behind the net.
That's Roussel, who's out near the point near Dan Boyle.
Roussel trying to take it out of the zone was stopped. Trevor Daley brings it out. Daley slowed down by Zuccarello, brings it across. Lundqvist puts it in the corner. Eric Cole took a hit and went down. Played by Dan Boyle on Cole. Chris Kreider taken down on the play. Draws a penalty from Demers.
Yeah, Chris Kreider with his speed. If you don't have good positioning on him and then he decides to be intense in taking the puck to the net, it's difficult to defend against him.
Jason Demers gets the call. I don't know.
I like the penalty.
Yeah.
I think it was a pretty good defensive play, to tell you the truth. Jason Demers came over from the San Jose Sharks a little bit earlier this season. They needed some right-handed shooting defensemen on this Stars team. They started training camp in the season with 8 left-handed shooting defensemen, so they made a few changes to add some righties, and Demers has been one of them.
This Rangers power play is presented by Volkswagen. 4:48 the time of the penalty, hooking the call to Jason Demers. Lundqvist, stick handling, got it to Boyle. Rangers power play, 3 for 10 the last 2 games, 5 for 18 the last 5 games, and they are creeping up in the rankings. They're now up to 18th. They had been down in the mid-20s.
Well, they've got a 5-some that's been together. That has helped.
Brassard and Nash with the puck, and St. Louis, Boyle, and Stepan, the Rangers 5. Boyle to St. Louis. St. Louis toward the net that was tipped into the corner, played by Stepan.
Sorry, Sam, I was just going to mention, you'll notice the aggressiveness of these Dallas penalty killers.
St. Louis deep to Nash, trying to swing it around and bang it off of Lettinen. Lettinen stopped it, and the Stars clear it. 1 minute to go in the power play. Rangers change power play units. They have 1 shot on goal. They bring on Kreider, JT Miller, Matt Zuccarello, Ryan McDonough, and Dan Girardi. They score! JT Miller! It's a power play goal! And the Rangers grab the early lead.
Well, the first power play unit didn't do much. Nash had 1 chance. The second power play unit, which has been good, it's been interesting for the Rangers. Remember JT Miller in Carolina? This was almost identical. McDonough starts it, but here's the pass up the middle. And then this time, JT Miller just lets the shot go quickly over the glove. Beautiful little pass by Zuccarello. Miller was in stride and then lets the shot go quickly before Lettinen can get set. And the Rangers take the early lead. Boy, JT Miller saying, I am not going to leave this lineup. I didn't like being a healthy scratch last game. I didn't like it either, to tell you the truth. Because he's played well, and now he's early on scores the goal.
Well, the tough part, quite honestly, for the coaching staff is you have healthy players now. We'll begin Tyler Seguin, but offside on the play was Savior on the left side. Rangers have grabbed the lead. J.T. Miller gets the goal, and the Rangers have a 1-0 lead. J.T. Miller on the bench right alongside is John Gino. Let's join John.
Yeah, thank you, Sam. Clearly the celebration for JT. A couple things I've heard so far is that Tyler Seguin has a right wrist issue. He got slashed by John Moore on the wrist early in the game. He was still trying to work that out during the break. The other thing is, every time Rick Nash has touched the puck so far, somebody on the Dallas bench has yelled, hit him. So that's clearly part of the game plan, something you want to think about. Hey, we've got Mark Stahl between periods. You can tweet your questions to him. Use the hashtag NYR on Twitter. Ron Duguay and Dave Maloney back in New York to analyze the game. Share your thoughts with them.
Thanks, John. We'll look forward to that. Look forward to Dave Maloney in the studio. He should be here with us in Dallas, but he got the studio assignment tonight.
I got lost last night. I was walking aimlessly around the city. I didn't have Dave to hold my hand and show me the way.
Dave will be back with us in Florida for New Year's Eve. Kevin Hayes moves in. The puck poked away by Jason Demers. Rangers have Kevin Hayes with Lee Stempniak and Carl Hagelin on the ice. The goal was Miller, his 5th, from Zuccarello and McDonough at 5:57. J.T. Miller, 5 goals in 11 games since his recall from Hartford. Those are good numbers.
He's playing well, really playing well. Got some offensive confidence. He's much more comfortable on wing than he was at center.
I started to say before, Joe, is that the Rangers have this tough situation where they have healthy players who are playing well. Matt Hunwick is a healthy scratch. He's played well. Jesper Fast certainly has played well. He's a healthy scratch tonight. Miller, who's played well, was a healthy scratch the other night.
Just a personal opinion is I think J.T. Miller should have stayed in the lineup. I thought he was playing that well, but I understand that they've got to make decisions. Plus the coaching staff, they look at the opposition. They try and figure out who their best 12 forwards should be that night against the team they're playing. But J.T. Miller should have stayed in, that's all. We'll move on now.
Yoki Paka's pass went through, stopped by Stepan. Stepan plays it deep to St. Louis on to Kreider. Out to Girardi. Girardi with a long shot, gloved by Lettinen, and he holds it. 7:45 gone by here in the first period. Rangers a 1-0 lead tonight. Go back home to Sweden with that man, Henrik Lundqvist. See how it all began for the Rangers star goaltender on an all-new beginnings presented by Melrose Credit Union tonight following post-game coverage on MSG. And that will be one outstanding show. The whole series is terrifically done. Brassard almost took it away. Cody Eakin able to get it to Goligoski. Alex Goligoski's pass off the boards to Garbutt. Garbutt with a backhander deflected away. Nice play. Good defensive play by Mark Stahl.
You know, Dan Boyle was telling John Gino in the pregame show when John asked him about playing with Mark Stahl, and he says his reach. And that was a perfect example of the reach of Mark Stahl. Looked like there was a little bit of room by Garbutt, who's got speed going down that far side. And of course, just as he's taking the shot, there's the reach and the deflection up and over the glass.
Mark's brother Jordan playing his first game of the season tonight for Carolina, back in the lineup after the broken leg, and that's good news for Jordan and for the entire Stahl family.
It sure is. It's a long wait to get back after breaking the leg in a preseason game.
J.T. Miller moves it, stopped by Goligoski, saved by Lundqvist, with Sean Horkoff screening at the side of the net. Into the Dallas zone, Goligoski ahead of Dominic Moore. Icing is whistled against the Rangers. 8:18 gone by here in the first period. Rangers during this 8-game winning streak have given up a total of 11 goals. Four of the games they've given up twice. They've given up 1 goal and they've had 2 shutouts.
At times, Sam, has been goaltending, but for the most part, their team defense has really been superb. 5 players coming back, defending well, and then you obviously have to have goaltending to win 8 in a row.
fans roar as the
Tanner
penalty
Glass
is called. Tanner Glass will head off, and the Stars will get their first power play of the game.
Tanner Glass was recruited heavily by this Dallas team when he became a free agent in July, and they offered him a contract. He elected to sign with the Rangers, and you'll see the play here. There goes the stick on the skates. That's an obvious trip, and so the Rangers shorthanded.
Stars certainly dangerous with their power play with Tyler Seguin out there. Right now they start with Seguin at the point. Trevor Daley, number 6 at the other point. Up front, Jason Spezza, Jamie Benn, and Cody Eakin. Meanwhile, Carl Hagelin comes down, trying to feed Dominic Moore. Hagelin and Moore with Girardi and McDonough for the Rangers.
McDonough looked like he got hit with a high stick, was slow to get up, but stays out there for the penalty kill.
Spezza drops it off to Jamie Benn. Daley with a drive, saved by Lundqvist, and he holds it.
This is a power play for Dallas that you would expect with their firepower to be much better than what they've been. Daley, who just took that shot, has 5 power play goals, but they got off to a terrible start on the power play. The last 15 games they've been better, but you know, they've got shooters, they've got size, they've got defensemen that can get involved in the play, and they did score 2 power play goals against St. Louis to win that game.
Wrist shot by Klingberg. John Klingberg shoots and scores. He got a second chance and got a lot on that shot. And the Dallas Stars have tied it at 1.
Yeah, the Rangers came into this game 28th in the league in faceoffs. They lose the faceoff. Dallas gets control. Now this first shot, Dominic Moore gets out there, but his stick breaks on the block, and then Klingberg takes a shot, and you can see what Lundqvist was looking at there. Lots of bodies in front of him. The puck was already past him before he looked up, and Klingberg is one of these young defensemen. We talked about the Finnish kid. He's more of a defensive player. Klingberg is a very good offensive defenseman and a right-handed shot.
Yeah, the Star, and that's something that Lindy Ruff last season with his Dallas team, they had 6 left-handed defensemen, and something they've looked for to try to get balance, much like the Rangers have in their lineup. John Moore back to the puck. So the game tied as the Stars score on the power play. Rangers penalty kill has been excellent over the last 9 games, giving up only 2 power play goals coming into play tonight. The Stars come through, and the game tied. Goligoski up ahead to Tyler Seguin. Goligoski to John Klingberg. Rangers do a good job in the neutral zone. Letton slows the puck down for Jokipaka, and it's lifted out by Jason Spezza. There's Eric Cole. Put it in front. Nice play in front by Kevin Hayes. Hayes with the intercept. Pushes it ahead. Letton sweeps it away to Spezza.
Those are the types of plays that have plagued Dallas. Those soft backhand passes through the middle of the ice. Those plays have gotten them in trouble this season, and they've done nothing hardly in the last 3 weeks but work on their team defensive game.
Jokipaka sends it back to Trevor Daley. That's knocked away. Good play by Brassard. In front save. Letton on a redirection by Rick Nash. Good play by the Rangers. Forced a turnover. Nash got a good scoring chance and a save by Letton. John Klingberg tied it for Dallas. Early tonight, we go to the Cadillac trivia question. Prior to Derek Stepan, who was the last Ranger to score a shorthanded, power play, and even strength goal in the same game. Tough question.
It is. The guys have been working today.
All right, we'll figure that one out. We'll get back to you on it. We'll answer the question a little later on. Brassard, Nash, and Zuccarello stay on for the Rangers. Stahl and Boyle. Zuccarello. Nash had it taken away by Goligoski. Takes it right back. Offside, Rangers on the play.
So, Sam, when you're a young player that leads the National Hockey League in goals scored, second in the league in shots on goal, what do you do in the offseason? You go to a goaltender school. That's what Tyler Seguin did this past summer. He said he wanted to work on his shot, so he went to a goaltender school in Toronto with all these NHL goaltenders that go throughout the summer. And 3 times they needed shooters, so he was the guy that went out and he shot. He just continued to shoot pucks more than at any other time in his career, and that's what's kind of helped him get going. So now he's shooting the puck more than he did before. He's trying to think about it a little bit more. It all started with him going to a goaltender school. How about that?
Did he pay the fee?
I think they let him in for free.
He needed the shooters. Pretty good stuff. Klingberg got his 4th from Eric Cole. At 9:02, Klingberg had gone 12 games without scoring a goal. Prior to that, he had scored goals in 3 straight. So he's got some scoring ability. He showed it on that shot.
He's just 22 years of age. Yoki Paka is 23 years of age. These new defensemen for Dallas. And Lindy Ruff told us earlier today, he said, you know what? He said, these kids have been good for us. Why? He said, I'm not afraid to use them in any situation.
Dallas trying to get back in the race for the playoffs in the Western Conference. Not an easy thing to do. They've won 5 of their last 6. Stepan plays it deep. Trevor Daley back for it.
And they've struggled at home, Sam. They're a game under 500 here in Dallas.
Race for the puck. Tipped just wide by Jamie Benn.
He didn't get all of it. He was open.
Ryder left it for St. Louis. Kept in by McDonough. It's Jyrki Paka, number 2. And Trevor Daley. Yoki Paka. They might slip a couple of times on that name. Eric Cole with a good hit. He's always been a physical player. He knocked down Kevin Hayes. Nice play by Hagelin to take it back. And more aggressive play by the Dallas Stars. Goligoski, one-time Pittsburgh Penguin. Ahead for Spezza, who plays it back. Klingberg's pass tipped ahead. And Lundqvist decides to cover up. 6:55 remaining in this first period.
Well, Jamie Benn put himself on the map last year so well that he played and made the Canadian Olympic team. And he is one of the true power forwards in this game. He doesn't miss by much there. Tyler Seguin with the pass. Ben just gets a piece of it. Didn't get all of it, just gets a piece of it and deflects it wide. He's gone through stretches this season where he hasn't scored. He's been a little inconsistent, but still has 30 points on the season.
Each team with a power play goal. Cody Eakin and Derek Brassard on the face-off. Pressure on McDonough, but he's able to get away from Eakin. McDonough to Brassard. Back behind McDonough. Brassard's shot was blocked by Eakin. And the clear out. Taken back by John Moore. Pressured by Garbutt. Good moves by Moore. There's Brassard to Nash. Saved by Lutman.
Good play by John Moore, using his skating ability. He had some pressure on him. He's able to get away from one player in his own zone, get it through the neutral zone and make the play. Comes all the way to the other side. Garbutt, who's a quick skater, thinks he has him. He doesn't. So does Eakin. He doesn't. And it turns into this. Rick Nash with the scoring chance off the feed from Derek Brassard.
Rangers 7 shots, Dallas with 5. Game tied 1-1. Travis Moen came to the Stars in the trade with Montreal. Fiddler was stopped by Girardi. That shot went wide by Markov. On the boards, Fiddler. Markov back to Jordan Benn. That's blocked in the crowd. Fiddler turns, fans on it, and Mark Stahl playing it across. Stepan with Kreider and St. Louis. Here's Kreider in deep. Takes it around the net. Kreider off the stick of McDonough and out of the zone. Dan Boyle drops it back for Stepan, but Stepan had cut in. The puck came out of the zone. Kreider to step on.
This puck is bouncing a lot, Sam. Both teams are having some difficulty with the puck, handling it and making plays.
Another multi-purpose facility. Dallas Mavericks played here last night. Hockey tonight. Dan Boylan deep. Dominic Moore checked there by Seguin. Got away. Wraparound goes right through the crease. Good move by Dominic Moore. John Moore able to play it deep. And Yoki Paka getting it ahead. Here's Seguin. Good pass to Sevier. Colton Sevier's pass was deflected out of the zone. And John Klingberg has it for Dallas. 4:40 to go in the first. Game tied 1-1. Up ahead, Hemsky was stopped by Kevin Klein. Pass a little too far for Kevin Hayes, becomes an icing on the Rangers. Wednesday night, it's New Year's Eve. We want you to join us. We're the pre-party. We'll warm you up for New Year's Eve on MSG2, Rangers and the Florida Panthers. It begins at 6 p.m. with our coverage. Visa Rangers game night at 5:30, and then the Rangers and the Panthers at 6.
Hayes versus Hayes.
Yes. Jimmy and Kevin, the Hayes brothers.
Jimmy is second leading goal scorer on that team with 10 goals. That's a hard-working team, that Florida team.
That'd be a good name for a rock duo. The Hayes brothers will be performing. And the Stars score. And they grab the lead.
Hemsky just threw it in from along the boards behind the goal line. And you don't see many of these on Lundqvist, and this one just slid in, hits his pad or his stick, and gets in behind him. Hemsky, just his third goal. You'll see him, number 83, the puck will go past, and he'll just throw it in front. And somehow that slides in maybe off the skate of Lundqvist. Or Stahl was there. I'm not sure if it hit his stick, but either way, it gets in on the short side and gives Dallas the 2-1 lead.
Hemsky had gone 7 games without a goal, and in the middle of those 7-game stretch, he was benched for 2. But the Stars have scored 2 and take the lead 2-1. Rangers have not given up more than 2 goals in any of their last 7 games. McDonough, Girardi, 3:45 to go in the first period. The Stars have the lead. Ales Hemsky. Jason Demers gets an assist. And the only assist on the play. 15:36, the time of the goal. Pass off the stick, stopped by Mark Stahl. Hayes tips it to Stepniak. Stepniak backhand was deflected away. Dan Boyle there to play it. There's Stahl with a wrister. He scores! Looked like it was deflected in front of maybe Kevin Hayes. But the Stahl shot finds the net, and the Rangers have tied it at 2.
It's a Western shootout. Rangers just get the puck in the zone, try to get it to the net. That doesn't work. Misses. Rangers stay with it, move it around, and then the wrist shot just comes in, and Hayes with a beautiful deflection. He must have heard us talking about him.
That's it. He's getting ready for the Hayes brothers feature.
Call his
Florida.
sister. That's his 5th. His brother has 10.
Yeah. All right. Well, the Rangers answer back. So each team is taking a turn, coming back to tie. Aggressive play by Kreider as he knocked down Trevor Daley. Fiedler's pass across to Daley. Daley drives it on goal.
Buckles had trouble with that one. I don't know if it dipped on him, but he struggled to fight that one out.
2:50 to go here in the first. And the game tied 2-2. Barkov sends it in. And Stepan chips it off the boards out of the zone. Hemsky there to play it. Long-time Edmonton Oiler, Ales Hemsky. the net. Checked by Girardi. Zuccarello takes over. Trying to get it to Nash. Jordan Ben plays it the other way. Stahl and Boyle get the assist on the goal by Kevin Hayes to tie the game. Brassard to Nash. Goligoski goes back to get it. Under 2 minutes to go. Shots are even at 8. Goals are even at 2. Garbutt offside. Lost control of the puck. And Eakin went across. Kevin Hayes standing in front. Good deflection of the Stahl shot.
Rangers led it 1-0, then trailed 2-1, and now have come back to tie it. Hemsky gets the second goal. Here's Mark Stahl in front. Does it hit his stick? Hard to tell there, but either way, Lundqvist will tell you that's one he's got to keep out of the net. And then down the other end, Stahl comes right back and participates in the Rangers' goal as he takes the wrist shot. Kevin Hayes, nice job on the deflection.
Mark Stahl's first assist in the last 19 games. Dan Boyle, who got an assist, has assist in 3 straight games. Here's Boyle weaving his way in. Offside whistle. There's Dominic Moore just ahead of the play. 1:38 to go here in the first period. Rangers and Stars tied at 2. And there's Mr. Hayes.
Has a little energy back. He was sick during the Christmas break.
Fired by Daly and blocked by Kreider. Picked up by Marty St. Louis. Orkov takes it back. Now Trevor Daly. Out in center. Moen put it in the Rangers zone. McDonough there to take it. Step on to McDonough. Good shot deflected by Daly off the glass. Kept deep by St. Louis. Kreider and Daly.
1 minute remaining in the first period.
Under a minute to go in the first. Taken away by Kreider along the boards. And the pass intended for McDonough goes back into the Ranger zone. Kicked ahead but turns into an icing. Zuccarello tipped it, but on the Ranger side of the red line. Experience blue shirt action in a suite in Madison Square Garden this season. A limited number of single-night suites are now available. Visit NewYorkRangers.com/suites or call 212-465-6771 to reserve yours today. That's a fun night watching a game. The suite at the Garden. Rangers back at the Garden January 3rd. Saturday night. Long shot saved by Lundqvist. He holds it. Goligoski taking the shot. 38 seconds to go here in the first period.
It's another face-off loss for the Rangers that the Stars turn into a scoring chance. Goligoski with the shot. Goligoski's been a player for Dallas that's hardly practiced in the last couple of months. He's been injured, plays games, starting to get a little bit better. Player that Lindy Ruff really relies on to play big minutes.
See the edge and face-offs to Dallas, 15-10. Hagelin lifts it in. A bouncer that's gloved by Ledney. He likes to use the glove. It's knocked down by Kevin Hayes. Cole trying to force it out of his own did, and Spezza sends it around the boards. Chopped that by Boyle. Picked up by Hayes, overskated. And Hemsky brings it back in. And he stick-handled on the line. Turned into an offside on Dallas. 9.2 seconds remaining here in this first period. Following the first period, John Giannone rejoins us. His special guest will be Mark Stahl. Bill Peto's back in the studio in New York. He'll have the Audi MSG 150, and then Ron Duguay and Dave Maloney, former Ranger teammates, team up for highlights and analysis. All coming up on the Delta Intermission Report. Klein's pass tipped in by Tanner Glass. Jason Demers is tied up, and the horn sounds. A little pushing and shoving. Fiddler and Dominic Moore.
And then Tanner Glass jumped right into that fray, of course.
Tanner Glass is the protector. Trevor Moen, the big man, always a physical player. Throughout his NHL career, things settled down, and the teams head off. Rangers scored the first goal. Dallas the next two. Rangers tied it. That's where we're at.
Yeah, and this right at the end of this, you see Dom Moore comes in with a hit that I think everybody thought might have been a little bit late. At least the Dallas Stars did. And that's what started this scrum, got everybody involved, and the officials able to get everybody spread apart to their respective locker room. Pretty even first period.
Rangers head off as maybe the tempers heat up a little bit at the end of the first period. Rangers had grabbed the lead on a power play goal. Then Dallas tied it with a power play goal. Hemsky's goal stuck in, and then Kevin Hayes deflected one in. 2-2, end of one. Delta Intermission Report is next. We are back in Dallas. Glad you're with us for the Rangers and the Dallas Stars. New York Rangers hockey on MSG is presented by Chase. Hey, let's answer that Cadillac trivia quiz question. Good question tonight. Prior to Derek Stepan, who was the last Ranger to score a shorthanded power play, an even strength goal in the same game?
I'm just going to go with Adam Graves.
I'm going to go with Brendan Shanahan.
Where'd you get that? Sam's pointing to his head, by the way. He's pointing to his head like it was just sitting in there someplace.
Somebody has to do their research.
There's a
Joe.
file up there someplace that you opened, huh?
You go to a Hall of Famer and you put his name down, and you. But Adam Graves was a good choice by you.
Thanks.
All right, what do you think? Second period. Rangers, and Mark Stahl alluded to it in his conversation with John Giannone. Rangers didn't have a whole lot of flow to their game in the first period.
No, I thought that, again, this is a different game that they're adjusting to. This is a quicker team. Dallas, they come at you with 5 players. You're going to have to make sure you get back quicker. And if you make a quick pass or two coming out of your zone, that'll create some space and some time to make plays.
Underway in the second. Kreider gets to the puck in the corner against Goligoski. Girardi and McDonough at the points. Long shot. Got through. Letton lost it for a moment. And able to find it and hold it.
Real good job on that play by Kreider. To use the speed, to get in, use his body, and then get back to the front of the net to provide a screen. I mean, it comes right off the face-off. Rangers just fire it down. There goes Kreider. No icing. Uses his body here on Klingberg, and then he'll go to the front of the net. So when the shot comes through, Letton has a difficult time finding it, feels it, and then finds the puck after making the save. Good opening shift by Chris Kreider.
Line changes for both teams. Quick shot by Rick Nash off the face-off win by Brassard, was deflected up into the netting. Brassard, Zuccarello, and Nash are on. McDonough and Girardi stay on. Pushed forward by Brassard.
That's been the key matchup for Dallas, the Eakin line.
Klingberg fell down. Zuccarello took the puck away. Nash with a shot that's blocked by Goligoski. And out with it. That stop. Nice play. As Antoine Roussel was stopped on the rush. Corbett has blocked. Girardi looking to play it, double team by Eakin and Roussel. Eakin fires across, open man, save, rebound put in. All alone, Antoine Roussel. We had a wide open net. And the Stars lead 3-2.
Now the Stars are able to find some seams. Good job by Eakin. Rangers can't control the puck. Stars keep fighting. Eakin beats 2 players, and then there's a wide open man. That shot goes wide, and Lundqvist just can't get back in the net. I don't know if he got a piece of the first one, but there certainly was a good bounce off the back side, and Roussel was there to put it in on the backhand. And an early goal for Dallas to take a 1-goal lead.
54 seconds into the second period. Stars have the lead for the second time in the game. And for the first time in the last 8 games, the Rangers have given up more than 2 goals in a game. And Henrik Lundqvist, the first time in his last 7.
He hasn't looked real sharp here in the first period or so.
I agree. Very cold offside is Jason Spezza. Minute 20 seconds into the period.
And the Rangers weren't very sharp as a team defensively on that play. Deacon is able to beat 2 Rangers, get control of the puck. No one picked up Roussel on the other side. Garbett, I should say, who took the shot. And then no one picked up Roussel. That's a pretty loose shift for that group of Rangers. We haven't seen much of that in the last 8 games.
Roussel gets his 8th of the season from Garbett and Eaton. Only 2 forwards with the assist at 54 seconds. Rangers bring on Hayes, Hagelin, and Stempniak. Seguin tied up Hayes. And Hagelin went down. He was shaken up on the play. Sevier's pass in front taken away by Hagelin, who skates it clear. Here's McDonough. Hagelin and Jamie Benn for the puck. And try to move it. Was able to bring it out of the zone. And Kevin Klein's got it. Lettinen leaves it for Jason Demers. Dominic Moore on the forecheck. Rangers bring on Moore, JT Miller, and Tanner Glass. Miller double teamed. Demers has it back for Dallas. Pass tipped ahead by Fiddler. Sean Harkoff on goal, stick aside by Lundqvist. And Glass able to get it out of the zone. Klein drives it on net, kicked away. Miller's pass in front, taken by Moore, back to Miller. Glove save by Lettinen with Tanner Glass screening in front. And now once again Dominic Moore involved. This time with Goligoski.
Let's see if he doesn't draw a penalty. Goligoski with, now they're sending both players, but Goligoski with a final punch on Moore.
Tanner Glass and Vernon Fiddler being separated.
That goes back to the end of the first period when that group of players was on the ice. Meanwhile, real good play by Miller on that, and then getting the shot through. And Tanner Glass does a nice job in front, and Lettinen fights through that screen to make the save.
Well, let's see. They bring the referee. What's he doing here? Both players have come back on the ice. So what are they saying? No harm, no foul?
I thought he pointed at both of them.
They both went into the penalty boxes.
Yeah. They both thought that. There they are on the left side of your screen. You'll see a final punch right there by Goligoski.
Well,
he pointed at both of them.
They're pardoned.
Right?
We are nearly 3 minutes into the second period. And both teams full strength on the ice and on the benches. Klingberg plays it across. Roussel looking, shooting, and it's blocked in front. Garbett set up a tough screen against Dan Boyle. Brassard trying to get it through to Nash, who was tipped away by Goligoski coming back. He would have done that if he was in the penalty box. Good takeaway by Brassard. Interesting decision by the referee. Boyle gets to the puck.
That line has done a good job against the Brassard line, and not only defensively, but of course they scored the 3rd goal for Dallas.
Carrillo able to work it deep. Brassard puts it behind the net. Cole got it to Klingberg. It's knocked down by Kevin Klein. Good job, but cleared out by Eric Cole. Stall for Kreider. And now Trevor Daley. Stepan aggressive on the forecheck. Almost forced the turnover. Played off the boards. And Sevier comes in. Saved by Lundqvist. Rebound blocked away by Lundqvist. Oh, Sevier with an outstanding play. Showed some speed, hustling for the puck. He's the forgotten man on that line.
Well, they've tried a lot of different left wings on that line. Sevier's the new one, where he's actually playing the right side, but they've used different people to play with Jamie Benn and with Tyler Seguin, trying to find combinations.
He was the first man that jumped on the line change. Rangers keep in. It was Kreider. Kreider, a good shot that was blocked away. Kreider has it back. Girardi with a drive, deflected just wide. McDonough in deep. St. Louis swings it in front, tipped away by Daly. Fake. Kreider moves in. He shoots, and it's blocked to the crease. Yoki Paka blocked it in the crease.
What a play. So much patience for Kreider. Did everything right. Had the goaltender beaten, and Yoki Paka saved the goal.
Rangers getting chances. Girardi, now McDonough. Up the middle of Hagelin. Off the end boards, back to get it is Demers. Around to Travis Mullen. 5.5 minutes gone by in the second. Dallas with a 3-2 lead. Mullen in the corner against Klein. Fiddler is there. Wait for Fiddler. Fiddler is checked along the boards by John Moore. Kevin Hayes against Sean Horkoff. Nice move by Hayes. But his pass blocked by Fiddler, who keeps it in the Rangers zone. Stars with a line change. Rangers move out. Back for it, Jordan Benn. And now Demers. All the way up ahead for Antoine Roussel. Roussel's pass tipped wide by Cody Eakin. The thing about the Stars is showing a lot of hustle.
This line in particular, they were good as a line last year for this team. Now they're back together. And normally they've been out there against the Brassard line. They've totally been able to shut them down for the most part.
Roussel couldn't clear. Glass able to put it behind the net. Moore was checked. Klingberg trying to get away from Miller. Glass with a hit. Puck comes out of the zone where Mark Stahl lifts it back in. And John Klingberg there. Stahl has to go back to get it. No icing. Dallas able to change. Just past the 7-minute mark of the second period. Nash off his stick and out of play. 7:08 gone by in the second. Antoine Roussel is the goal scorer to give Dallas the 3-2 lead here in the second.
Chances both ends of the ice in this 3-2 game. Dallas up by 1. Jason Spezza fires the puck. Eventually it'll go all the way down the other side, and here comes Sevier from the other side. And Lundqvist makes one pad save and then gets over to stop a second one as well. Rangers get it back down the other way. Here's one more look first of all. Lundqvist, 2 good saves on Sevier. And then this patient play by Kreider. And look at that net wide open. What a job by Yoki Paka coming back to block that one and prevent a goal.
Good shot blocked. Back out, and Klingberg has it back for Dallas.
And then McDonough on the rebound just missed.
Off the corner boards, McDonough pressured by Eakin. Girardi moves it to Zuccarello. Good quick passing. Nash. Brassard after it. Klingberg was met by Zuccarello. The giveaway to McDonough. Blocked. Zuccarello got to it. Cleared aside by Goligoski. Girardi coming in. Goligoski picks it up and gets it out of the zone.
That's the 5-some again. That Brassard's line is on the ice. The Eakin line. And then Goligoski and Klingberg on defense. Done a nice job.
Eric Cole trying to carry in offside. Dallas, 8:03 gone by here in the second.
Now, you know, we talked about the Rangers being a little loose in there, and now this is the third goal, and if we stop it right here, you'll see these two players. That's Nash and McDonough. And watch how they both leave that area. So there's lack of communication. They both leave the area. That leaves a wide open man on one side, Garbutt, and the Rangers just can't recover from that. As Roussel scores the goal and make it 3-2.
St. Louis for Dan Boyle. That's blocked away. Stahl under pressure, had to take it away by Spezza. Demers across to Jordan Benn. Long shot saved by Lundqvist. Demers keeps in for Dallas. Lundqvist backhands it around the boards. Cole couldn't get there in time to keep it in the zone. Rangers led 1-0. Stars had a 2-1 lead. Rangers tied it. Stars have regained the lead at 3-2. Stepniak tipping it into the Dallas zone where Kari Lehtinen stopped it. Sevier couldn't clear it. Kept in by Hagelin. Now Trevor Daley. Jamie Benn tipped it, but it comes all the way down. It's an icing on the Stars. 9:05 gone by here in the second period. New Year's Day, MSG is getting the new year off to a very smooth start with a whole day of JB Smoove and Friends. Catch the Four Courses Marathon New Year's Day starting at noon on MSG.
Marty St. Louis got hit by Hemsky his last shift. He was slow to leave the ice. You can see him in some discomfort on the Ranger bench.
Girardi tried to play it off the boards, fired it into the Dallas bench.
There's the play, and he doesn't see Hemsky from the other side. Hemsky not a physical player by any means, and I'm not sure that this wasn't one of those collisions where Hemsky couldn't stop either. He does not play a physical game.
St. Louis still feeling the effects of it. Talking about it on the bench.
Whiplash on the play.
Dominic Moore was the Rangers' best face-off man in the first period. 6 of 8. Whistle. And a penalty upcoming. Interference. It's on Tanner Glass. And the Stars get their second power play of the game. They're 1 for 1.
And the second
Glass upset with a call.
Yeah, it's his second penalty of the game as well. He had a tripping penalty in the first period that put Dallas on the power play. And so Tanner Glass, he wants to see it again. He was not happy with the call. I thought it was the right call and didn't have the puck.
Seguin winds it deep for Cody Eakin. Rangers have McDonough and Girardi with Hagelin and Dominic Moore. Driven hard off the boards by McDonough. Letting it out to play it. Off the glass. McDonough stops it. Right back into the Dallas zone.
Jason Spezza was telling us this morning, he said he and Tyler Seguin now are starting to get a little bit more chemistry on this power play.
And McDonough steps up. Here comes Nash to the net. Wide on the backhand.
Puck slid off the end of his stick. Terrible turnover by Dallas that gave Nash the shorthanded chance.
Rick Nash with a big chance. Weaving his way in, Trevor Daley. In front, saved by Lundqvist. He robbed Jamie Benn with a great save.
What chances on both ends. Jason Spezza first. Loses the puck in the neutral zone. Benn's had enough of that stick. He goes off the boards. Rangers turn it the other way quickly. And Nash had to kind of reach for that. And then Trevor Daley can really skate. And he makes the play. And Jamie Benn with the chance. Lundqvist thought he had it, but wasn't sure. And then Jamie Benn went to the bench and said, get rid of this stick. Give me a new one. He's had a few chances in this game from directly in front.
Still looking for his first point ever against the Rangers. This is 6th game. Stepan shorthanded. Was stopped by Hemsky. Rangers have been very good on this shorthanded situation. Very aggressive. They forced turnovers and gotten scoring chances. Kevin Klein on with Mark Stahl. Zuccarello with Dominic Moore. Hard off the boards all the way down the ice. 42 seconds to go in the Dallas power play. 9:15 to go in the second.
Sorry, Sam. 4 forwards for Dallas, and that was Hemsky back on defense. That Stepan looked up and tried to beat him one-on-one.
McDonough and Hagelin combined. Fans wanted to call as Hagelin took down Hemsky. Hagelin moves in with a puck toward the net, but wide. And it's picked up by Tyler Seguin. Girardi is there. Seguin looks around. Trevor Daley moves across. Hagelin there to check in. In deep against McDonough. Pass for Spezza. And I believe Lundqvist got a piece of that. It's out of the zone. And the penalty to Tanner Glass is over. Good penalty kill by the Rangers. Late chance. That puck was touched with a high stick by Jamie Benn. Fans don't like it. The linesman made the call. 8:32 to go, second period. Let's check out the Kia Division standings. Metropolitan Division. Rangers are now in the wild card spot. Started play tonight ahead of Washington. Washington's gotten a point. Rangers have 3 games in hand, including this one. See the Islanders, they won in overtime over Washington 4-3, 49 points, tied with Pittsburgh, top of the division.
Back-to-back games for the Islanders where they led 3-0 in the third period and let the other team come back, but in this one they found a way to win it in overtime.
Garvin with the takeaway, and Klingberg has it. Rangers have Brassard, Zuccarello, and Nash on with Stahl and Boyle. Pressure by Garvin. And Boyle has it. 8:10 to go in the second. Dallas with a 3-2 lead. Brassard trying to play it. Goligoski able to get it away, and it's cleared out. There's Nash. Glass, Goligoski there to move it quickly. Bounced over the stick of Dan Boyle.
They just have not allowed that line to get much going in the offensive zone. This group of 5 for Dallas, it's been constant throughout.
It's interesting. Both teams have done a good job on the other's high score. Rangers have done a good job on Tyler Seguin.
Yeah, Seguin, he hasn't touched the puck much in this game. A little bit on the power play, but not much at even strength.
Goligoski behind his net. Forced by Stepan. And the puck deflects out of play into the Dallas bench.
Jamie Benn has had a couple of chances in front of the net, and you can see the frustration on him. Here's the play by Trevor Daley. Beautiful play, and Ben has that chance. Lundqvist makes the save, so Ben says, I'm not going to break the stick. Maybe this fan needs it. Take this stick. It doesn't work, and I'll get a different one. You can see the look on his face.
Makes a fan happy at holiday time. That's a great belated Christmas gift.
That was great, wasn't it?
St. Louis. Chased there by Yoki Paka. Klein with a shot off the post. Oh! That big shot by Kevin Klein just missed. Yoki Paka pressured by St. Louis. St. Louis went down. John Moore is in to play the puck. Moore cuts in front. Save by Lettinen. Moore gets knocked down by Daley. And Vernon Fiddler away with the puck.
It's been the Rangers' best line. Kreider's really had a good game. Made plays, used his body well.
Backhander sticked aside by Lundqvist. Travis Mullen taking the shot. John Moore able to play it to Dominic Moore. And Kreider comes across with the puck. Double teamed. And it batted out of the zone. Stahl has it back. Stars out shooting the Rangers 16-14. Spezza moves in, centers, and Stepan back. Made the interception. Stepan averaging over a point a game since his return now with that big game. That shot knocked aside by Lundqvist up into the netting. Jason Spezza getting the chance. 5:59 to go. Second period. Dallas scored early in the second and still lead.
Kevin Klein nearly ties it. Bidding for his 8th even strength goal. Here's a shot, top of the screen, right off the post. That's a hard, low shot by Kevin Klein. Here's another look. And again, Chris Kreider has done a nice job getting in front of the net in this game. Was there to screen the goaltender and just off the post. And that shift continued with John Moore then pinching in and getting a pretty good chance in front. Lettinen did a good job holding the post.
Dominic Moore on the face-off, wins it back. Girardi moves it up the boards to Stepniak. Stars have done a good job defending the Rangers here. Rangers held for 14 shots. Pass across. Dominic Moore breaks it up. And by McDonough got it out of the zone. Recovered by Jokipaka. And it's whistled down for an icing on the Dallas Stars.
Rangers will make a line change. And McDonough is a little off balance. It's a dangerous play. Didn't get hit that hard, but just had to catch himself as he was reaching, and then his stick came up and actually caught Cole in the face.
You know, the shoulder situation is always something to be concerned about with Ryan McDonough, but he shakes off medical trainer Jim Ramsey, says he's okay. 5:25 to go. The puck deflects out of play. Rangers trailing 3-2. Experience the lounges at Madison Square Garden. A spectacular group and hospitality space on the bridge level. For more info, visit NewYorkRangers.com/lounges. That is a great place. Great spot at the Garden. Great spot to view a game, mingle with your friends. We're up there. Joe will bring you pretzels.
Sure.
Kreider. Checked by Jamie Benn. St. Louis back to the point. John Moore with a wrist shot. Glove by Lettinen, and he holds it. He likes to use that glove, Joe. I said it earlier, but Lettinen likes to catch those shots.
Well, he's an athletic goaltender. And Kreider again did most of the work in the corner and then along the boards and got back to the point. And Lettinen again, they're waiting for Lettinen to get on a run of some sort. See, in the last 5 games, numbers are getting better. The save percentage coming up a little bit higher than what his season number is.
Face-off win by Brassard. Klingberg playing it up off the glass. Stahl trying to keep it in. Garbutt got it out of the zone. Goligoski.
But this is the line that's going to have to find a way to create some offense. It's been, as I mentioned before, this 5-some has done a good job.
It was tipped back by Zuccarello on goal. Zuccarello able to take it away from Cody Eakin. There's that speed. Here's Nash trying to beat Goligoski. Goligoski blocked him.
Oh, he's been good, Goligoski, defensively. Really good.
Klingberg out of the zone. And it's played by Dan Boyle. One thing that has been noticeable about Dallas in recent games, they've been better in third periods, defending leads than they had been earlier in the season.
Yeah, they had a real problem early in the season for quite a while. And this is a team that they were giving up 5 goals a game. There's Goligoski. And he's got a bone bruise, lower body bone bruise that's taken him a long time to get better. He's just finally starting to get there. Even Lindy Ruff said, you know, it might be my fault that I play him so much, so many important situations that hard for him to get better and get well.
Played deep by Demers to Jamie Benn. Benn was taken down by Brassard. Dan Boyle able to move it. Seguin checked by Stahl, who shoved him down. Double team. Seguin with a setup for Jamie Benn, who missed. Hagelin races down. Demers there. Save Lettinen. Hagelin takes it away from Demers. Demers trying to move it. Blocked by Hagelin. Up ahead, Jamie Benn.
The Rangers have to get more shots again because here's an icing. Oh, Lundqvist comes out to play it.
Back the other way, Hagelin. Races it and drives one on a save by Lettinen. Horkoff, that went off from Girardi. Severe speed forced Lundqvist to play that puck last time down. McDonough around the boards for Stempniak. 3:10 to go here in the second. Dallas with a 3-2 lead.
Rangers have 17 shots. But again, with the way Lettinen has been, not sure of his confidence, it's important for the Rangers to try and get more shots and continue to test him.
Moore plays the boards. Miller is there. Stempniak. Long shot by John Moore went wide. And back the other way. Eric Cole. Checked by Kevin Klein. Miller able to take it away. J.T. Miller scored the Rangers' first goal. A power play goal in the first period. Kevin Hayes scored in the first period. That tied the game at 2-2 at the time.
Miller's been moved up to play with Kevin Hayes. And Stempniak.
Pass ahead for Hemsky. Breaks to the net. And he lost control.
What a play. That's a great defensive play by Kevin Klein. Kevin Klein gets stick on stick, tried to reach around one way and couldn't get it. And I believe he went back the other way and just got the stick on the stick of Hemsky and forced him to lose the puck.
Puck deflected out of play. Take a look, Joe.
There it is again. He tries to go around one way and then maybe one more. Well, maybe just gets a piece of it. Hemsky just lost it too, but
just enough to bother him.
Just bothered him enough.
2:09 to go. Stepan able to win the draw. Stall double team put in front for Seguin. But St. Louis was there. Jamie Benn couldn't find it. Able to break out as Dan Boyle. With a lead to Stepan. Cuts in. Saved by Lettinen. Oh, what a move by Derek Stepan on Yoki Paka.
You know,
he had a good chance.
He made it look like he was going to shoot, and then he just kept the puck out at a distance. Good play by Dan Boyle on the watch. He just waits and then just drags it past him. And Lettinen, good save and controls the rebound.
Stepan against Ben. Stepan wins it back. Girardi with a wrister deflected off the glass. In comes McDonough against Yoki Paka.
Just get the feeling that Kreider's going to score in this game. Just every shift, he just looks like he's doing a lot. In the corners, he's making plays, using his speed. He's had a few chances.
Long pass intercepted by McDonough. Good anticipation. Drops it to Kreider. He moves in wide.
Boy, just off the outside of the net.
Girardi pulled down on the play. Penalty call. A holding call will give the Rangers a power play with 1:20 to go in the second period. Tyler Seguin goes off.
Now the turnover first in the neutral zone allowed the Rangers to go the other way, and Kreider just missed the outside of the net. That came all the way across the other way, and there's Seguin with one hand on the stick. John Giannone reported that Seguin had the bad wrist early in the game, and it makes you wonder with one hand on the stick whether that wrist is still bothering him somewhat, not getting many shots. And then he got a stick wedged in on McDonough.
Holding the call at 18:40. Rangers' second power play. This power play presented by Volkswagen. Rangers 1-for-1 on the power play. J.T. Miller getting the goal.
Called a tight game, haven't they, these officials?
Yeah. Stepan, Brassard, Nash, St. Louis, and Boyle. That was deflected on the way in and gloved by Kari Lettinen. We go between the benches. John Giannone.
Yeah, guys, it's funny, when this game gets serious and everything's going on, there's still some humor. When Dan Girardi was pulled down for the penalty, he was getting yelled at by the Stars bench. They were saying he dove, and he said, you know what? I'm not a very good skater, guys. He does have a dry sense of humor.
He does.
He's one of the best.
Boyle to Brassard. Good play by Fiddler, stopping him under a minute to go in the second period. Rangers down 3-2. Boyle drives it hard around the boards. Trevor Daley is there. Nash on him. Goligoski blocked by St. Louis. Played up by St. Louis to Boyle. Now Stepan. Back to Boyle. Winds up. Feeds St. Louis. Wide. Stepan's got it. Stepan through to Boyle. That's a deflection. It was blocked in front. Brassard up high.
That hit Nash.
Here's Stepan. Now Boyle fakes the shot. Stepan moves. Somebody stick down on the ice. It was Fiddlers. He's got it back. Boyle with a shot wide. Rebound. Brassard went right through the crease. May have hit Lettinen and went right through.
I believe he got a piece of it, but the Rangers, they had 3 consecutive good scoring chances, starting with the Kreider rush, where they missed the net. They've got to hit the net, and that's the end of period number 2.
Rangers trailed 3-2. Dallas getting the goal in the opening minute out in center. We've got something going on as the teams were heading off. Chris Kreider involved for the Rangers and Jason DeBurs for Dallas.
Kreider jumped in because Zuccarello was the first Ranger involved in some pushing and shoving. Kreider saw that and jumped in. And meanwhile, the Rangers came close a couple of times here at the end of the second period. Here's a shot that just misses. That one goes wide. And there's the one from the bad angle, but Lettinen just gets a piece of it. Gets over the initial shot wide by Boyle. And that shot looks like he just goes off his arm and goes through
right
him.
through him.
And the Rangers will trail by 1 going into the third.
Rangers head off. Dallas scored in the opening minute of the second period. Rangers will have 40 seconds remaining on their power play to start the third period. Coming up, John Giannone rejoins us on the New York Lottery Intermission Report. Derek Brassard will be his special guest. Bill Peto's back in the studio. He's got the MSG 150 with highlights of the Islanders and the Caps. Ron Duguay and Dave Maloney will have their take with highlights and analysis. It's all coming up on the New York Lottery Intermission Report. Rangers and Stars, first meeting of the season. Dallas has found a way to grab the lead. They lead 3-2 under 2. Welcome back to Dallas, where the Rangers and Dallas Stars are getting set for the third period. New York Rangers hockey on MSG is presented by Chase. Love that super slow-mo look. Take a look at our Tri-Honda game recap. JT Miller, his 5th goal since his recall in 11 games, a power play goal, gave the Rangers a 1-0 lead. Kevin Hayes got his 5th of the season. That tied the game in the first period, 2-2. And Antoine Roussel has the difference maker at the start of the second period. 3-2 to score. Rangers start the third period on the power play for another 40 seconds. At the end of the period, that little get-together and rough stuff that went on. Coincidental minors to Jason DeBurs for holding for Dallas, Chris Kreider for roughing for the Rangers. It remains a 5-on-4 power play advantage.
Yeah, you just have this feeling, Sam, that the Rangers are going to have their best period here. I mean, there's through this streak, you know, when it starts building like this as players, and we're getting this from the players, they don't want it to end.
Right.
And I'm sure that was part of the discussion going into this third period. Hey, let's dig down deep. Let's do a few things here in this third period and try and keep this thing going. I just think that they're going to, you know, have their best period that we've seen thus far. Meanwhile, Dan Girardi has not come out for period number 3.
He is still in the Rangers locker room. We'll try to get an update on that. Underway, third period. Boyle drops it back to Stepan. Stepan swings it around the boards to Nash. Back the other way, blocked by Daly. Nash takes it away. Stepan's got it. 10 seconds to go in the power play. A deflection, a save by Lettinen on the deflection by Brassard.
Boy, Brassard wide open in front of the net. That's a good deflection. Dan Boyle with his head up all the way, and Lettinen with a good first save of the period.
Teams are back at full strength. Boyle drops it off to Zuccarello. Now to Hayes. Hayes in deep. Regains control, and it's taken away by Seguin. Ben tried to clear. McDonough was outside the zone when he gloved the puck. And with 55 seconds gone by, we go between the benches. John's got an update from the coaches. John.
Yeah, guys, I talked to Ulf Samuelsson, and we've already seen a little bit of what he was talking about, because he said with where Kari Lettinen plays, and he seized upon what Derek Brassard was saying, he comes out and challenges so much the Rangers have to get redirections, rebounds, a dirty goal, as he called it, to tie the game. He also said, credit Dallas, their checking line and their fourth line has done such a good job that the Rangers have seen a lot less of the top line than they thought they'd see. The other thing he said, watch for the way the Rangers get through the neutral zone in the third. Much less dumping and chasing, a lot more speed to get behind the Jays.
Thanks, John. We'll look for that. Jamie Benn trying to break out. Kevin Klein is back. Benn's pass for his brother, Jordan, was blocked. And Jamie Benn's shot was blocked and cleared out by Kevin Klein. Rangers 8-game winning streak on the line. They are tied for the longest win streak in the NHL this season. The Chicago Blackhawks. All the way down, this will be an icing on Dallas. We are a minute 31 into the third period.
Again, this is the area, Sam, you touched on it a little bit earlier, that Dallas has gotten a little bit better in third periods with leads, but it's still an area of contention. Lindy Ruff told us this morning, we're still not there yet. And we asked him about their defensive game as a group, and he said it's a little better, but he said it's not where we need to be yet. And that'll be the test for them in the third period.
Last 8 games that they have taken a lead into the third, they've won. So that's a bit of a positive sign for them. Beat St. Louis, holding on to a 4-3 lead late in the game. Kevin Hayes with a good job along the boards, maintains possession. To Zuccarello. Hayes, Zuccarello, and Miller on for the Rangers. A takeaway by Sevier. Ben was tripped up, and a penalty called. Rangers will be shorthanded. Zuccarello heads off. Dan Girardi has returned to the Rangers bench.
Good news for the Rangers. He hadn't been on the ice, I don't think. And well, here's the penalty first. Zuccarello with his left skate catches the feet of Ben. Here it is again. Watches, reaches out with the skate, trips down Ben, and takes the penalty.
Very important penalty kill here for the Rangers. 2 minutes in. Zuccarello for tripping. Dallas 1 for 2 on the power play of the game. Rangers clear. Have Dominic Moore, Carl Hagelin, Mark Stahl, and Kevin Klein on the ice.
This is the second power play unit for the Dallas Stars. They've scored just 4 goals this season.
Goligoski up ahead. Horkoff leads Hemsky. Alex Hemsky swings it around for Goligoski, but there to take it away was Dominic Moore. Lost control. Goligoski has it back. Goligoski and Klingberg. This is Goligoski taking it across, setting up, feeding Eric Cole. Now John Klingberg. Down low, Hemsky missed the deflection, and then Lundqvist was out of position, but Hemsky didn't get the puck back. Horkoff to Klingberg. Klingberg, who's done a good job on the power play.
He's a good player. Handles the puck and is patient.
Takes the shot, blocked in front. Rebound chance, deflects to the air, gets batted down.
Klein might have saved a goal there.
Hemsky back to Goligoski. Now Klingberg to Horkoff. Cole is set up in front, screening Lundqvist. Rangers deflected out of the zone. 45 seconds to go in the power play. Rangers change units. Nash comes on with Stepan. Klein and McDonough. McDonough comes on. Klein stayed on. Now he heads off, and Girardi is on. Trevor Daley. Good job by Nash on Daley. Cody Eakin across, drops it off. Sagan shot, save with a glove by Lundqvist.
Wow, tough save. Beautiful release and quick by Sagan.
Stepan. Long shot, knocked away with a blocker by Lehtinen. Stepan in the corner. 5 seconds to go in the Dallas power play. And the teams are back at full strength right now. Zuccarello back. Big penalty kill for the Rangers. Dallas with 2 shots on goal on that power play. Tyler Seguin up ahead for Fiddler. Too far. John Moore's got it. Moore and Boyle on the ice for the Rangers. Out of the zone. Stars take it back. Demers fires in. Lundqvist stops it. On to John Moore. Now Zuccarello to Nash. Try to get it back to Zuccarello, and the Stars break it up. Lead for Roussel. Roussel against Boyle. John Moore is there. Vernon Fiddler for Dallas. Boyle trying to move it, able to get it ahead. Rangers get it out. Broussard for Nash. A good job by Nash. Backhander saved by Lettinen. Oh man, Rick Nash stayed with it and got a good chance. Lettinen making the glove save.
Boy, what an effort by Nash. Rangers able to get the puck out of the zone, and then they just let Nash do the rest. Stayed with it. Daly was there. Nash wouldn't give up on the play, pulls it in, and just reaches out and forces Lettinen to make the save. And prior to that, Henrik Lundqvist, I thought it might have been Klein that got a piece of it. He did not. It was Lundqvist all the way that gets a piece of it with his arm.
Nash with a good effort. Girardi shot, blocked, knocked down, given away. St. Louis to step on, trying to get back to St. Louis, and the puck cleared out by the Stars. Rangers had the Stars scrambling in their own zone, but that pass by Stepan did not get through.
St. Louis did a good job, was strong on his stick to keep the play alive.
Daly sending it away. McDonough is there to stop it. Now Girardi. Good pass. Kreider dumps it in. Kreider after the puck. Jordan Benn is there to move it. Stars come out. Sevier. Colton Sevier puts it in the Ranger zone. Girardi back for it. Lundqvist moves it to McDonough. Now Stepan. Off the boards for St. Louis. Knocked away by Jordan Benn. Spezza takes over. 5:45 gone by here in the third. Stahl. And the Stars take it back. Jordan Benn. Rangers with Stempniak. On with Hagelin and Hayes. Long pass tipped by Eric Cole. Leszczynski gets to it. Stahl checking him. Without a stick is Dan Boyle.
Yeah.
Jason Spezza lost it to Mark Stahl. Good play by Stahl. There's Kevin Hayes moving it ahead to Hagelin. Hayes chasing after it. Fires off the side of the net. Hagelin takes it away. Played across. John Moore with a drive. Went wide. Here's Hayes. Cutting in. Hayes shot blocked in front by Goligoski. Vernon Fiddler blocked by Hagelin. Good effort by the Rangers. JT Miller is on. And Dominic Moore has come on. Klein back to get it. Nearly 7 minutes into the third period. Dallas with a 3-2 lead. Sean Horkoff moving it to Trevor Daly. Fiddler playing it deep into the Ranger zone. Horkoff chases it down. Back to Yoki Paka. And a whistle.
Offside, I believe.
Offside whistle. Play stops. We'll step out for a moment. 7:50 gone by. Third period. Rick Nash with a chance. Good save by Kari Lettinen. That's Henrik along with his twin brother Yoel on an all-new beginnings tonight following post-game coverage right here on MSG. Yoel Lundqvist, who played for the Dallas Stars in the NHL. It's a great show. Don't want to miss it. Right here, Henrik Lundqvist has held Dallas since they took the lead, but the Rangers still looking for that tying goal. Down 3-2. Broussard, whistle, and a hand pass. Whistle against the Rangers. 12:27 to go here in the third period. Don't forget Rangers New Year's Eve in Florida on MSG2 to take on a Florida Panthers team that's playing outstanding hockey as they press for a playoff spot in the Eastern Conference.
They trailed 4-2 going into the third period last night.
Against Toronto.
Against Toronto, and scored 4 goals on 6 shots to win at 6-4. Their largest crowd of the season, over 17,000 in Florida. I'm sure it'll be a big crowd when the Rangers get there as well.
St. Louis and Sagan battle for the puck. McDonough moves it across. That was a huge win. It's a team that Florida is trying to catch in the race for a wild card spot. Pass across, off the skate of McDonough. 3-on-2, Dallas the other way. Sagan on the puck. Sagan pass to Jamie Benn. Saved by Lundqvist.
Rangers just missed on the scoring chance, and Pryor actually made a good play, and McDonough just had trouble controlling, just a little bit behind him. And Lundqvist, good save on Jamie Benn.
Haven't seen many odd man rushes against the Rangers during this streak. But that was a point where McDonough missed the puck. Girardi for Stepniak, who lifts it into the Dallas zone. Jordan Benn is there. On him is Hagelin. Stepniak. Spezza fires it out of the zone. It'll turn into an icing if Klein can stay ahead of Cole. No. Cole got there ahead of him and negated the icing. Rangers able to come out. Kevin Hayes, four-man rush, 4-on-3 across. Stepniak fires, save, Lettinen. Long rebound, and Eric Cole sweeps it out. Just under 11 minutes to go in the third. Goligoski off the boards, gave it away to Hagelin. Fires in front, tipped away by Goligoski as he recovered. Horkov. And trip. Brassard got caught. Brassard for tripping. Rangers will be shorthanded with 10:40 to go.
Now Brassard coming off the bench. And he just gets the stick into the skates of Vern Fiddler. And so the Rangers, they did a good job killing off the one. They're going to have to get the job done again with just over 10 minutes remaining here in the third period.
9:20, the time of the tripping call on Derek Brassard. Dallas 1 for 3 on the power play in the game. Stepan and Nash. McDonough and Girardi for the Rangers. Stars controlled, played deep by Seguin. Cody Eakin double team. Girardi trying to move it. It was tipped. Big shot by Trevor Daley. Save. Rebound went wide by Jamie Benn. Jason Spezza gets it back from Benn. Seguin with a drive. Blocked in front by McDonough. Spezza's pass to Benn. Now Seguin across. Daley shoots. Save. Lundqvist. No rebound.
Boy, those are some good chances by Dallas. They win the initial face-off, and then they work the puck around, and Jamie Benn can't buy one. Another quality chance for him in front of the net. Benn is 14. He won the face-off. There's a shot that Lundqvist was able to make the save, but had trouble controlling the rebound, and there's Jamie Benn in front. Loose puck. Gets a couple of whacks at it, and Lundqvist stops him.
Stars able to control. With Dominic Moore with a takeaway, leads Hagelin. Hagelin stopped by Lettinen. Kept in by Klein, brought out by Jamie Benn. Benn meets Mark Stahl off the boards. Played by Eakin to Daley to Jamie Benn. Now Daley. Hagelin and Moore on for the Rangers. That pass intended for Eakin went through. Benn has got it. Under a minute to go in the power play. The puck out of the zone. Seguin has to wait for his teammates to get onside. Was taken down by Dominic Moore's stick check. Sean Horkov regroups behind the net. Kevin Hayes has come on with Tanner Glass. The Stars have 2 shots on goal on this power play. 35 seconds to go. Cole in deep. Eric Cole around the net. Klingberg to Demers. And the shot missed by Cole and cleared by McDonough. Demers for Cole. Rangers have Girardi and McDonough. Cole lost it. Girardi cleared it out. 10 seconds to go on the power play. John Klingberg moves in, feeds Eric Cole. Pass across, and the shot by Horkov. He got underneath it and went into the corner. Here's Nash. Brassard joins him out of the penalty box. Shot just wide. I think that went through Lettinen and just went wide of the net. Zuccarello. Rangers down 3-2. 8:25 to go in the third. Behind the net, Jokipaka taken back by John Moore. He's got Boyle in front of us. Brassard thought it was in. Somehow it stayed out. I don't know if Lettinen got it or it went off the post. Here's Brassard. Brassard raised his arms. He thought it was in.
Yeah, it almost looked like the netting moved on the quick shot. I think it went off the post.
Roussel Take it back by Kreider. Quick shot by Stahl. Got underneath it. Goes off the glass. And the Stars. Gorman has to wait. Dumps it in, but they've got to get onside. Rangers take over. Stahl with the puck. 7:45 to go. Rangers down 3-2. Mark Stahl carries. Stahl turns and shoots. Save. Letton. The rebound. Cleared away by Jordan Ben.
Well, Rangers getting some chances.
This is an icing on Dallas with 7.5 minutes to go.
Chances in close. Dan Boyle, what an opportunity. John Moore feeds him. Oh, he gets it with the glove.
Yep.
And then it goes off behind him. There was a little bit more room on that short side. And Dan Boyle been able to lift it a little bit higher. It was a bang-bang play, and Letton's made some big saves in this game.
Boyle, oh, he's upset.
What a chance for him. He knew he had room on that short side. And the Dallas Stars have taken a timeout here because the Rangers have come with a push here in this third period.
Now the icing and call on Dallas.
He's looking up at the big scoreboard, looking at the replay.
Let's see his reaction after he sees this. The shake of the head.
How about that? John Moore was in deep, his defense partner on that particular shift. And Boyle was in front of the net.
They nearly combined on the goal.
Here it is again. Kari Lettonen gets across. He's very athletic. He makes a great save. Fights that one off and keeps Dallas with the 1-goal lead.
Rangers are out shooting the Stars 28-22. 7.5 minutes to go in the third. Dan Boyle came close. Still upset that he didn't finish.
Stefan's won some faceoffs here this period. Let's see if he can't win it straight back to St. Louis. Oh, he tries to go forward and breaks his stick.
Spezza was able to beat him on the draw. Cole comes out with a puck. Stefan goes back. Lundqvist around the boards for Kreider. Kreider was bumped on the play. Stepan there to play it. John Moore with the outlet to Kreider. Kreider falls down, able to push it to Stepan. Stepan, good pass to St. Louis. Toward the net and blocked by Demers. Cleared out, and John Moore recovers. Under 7 minutes to go in the third. Goligoski. 3-2 has been a common score between these two teams. Eakin with a shot. Saved by Lundqvist, and he holds it. Got bumped by Garbutt. Things settle down. 6:45 to go. Third period. Dallas holding on to a 3-2 lead. Kari Lettonen with a big save. The upcoming schedule is brought to you by Lexus, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Rangers. Wednesday evening, 6 p.m. Rangers on MSG2 against the Florida Panthers. Saturday night at Madison Square Garden, Rangers and Buffalo Sabres, 7 p.m. on MSG. Wednesday, January 7th, Rangers at Anaheim. That'll be on MSG Plus, and all games preceded by 1/2 hour. Oh, Dan Boyle missed the puck. It bounced over his stick, and Lundqvist covered up. All games preceded 1/2 hour by Visa. Rangers game night.
Dan Boyle, you'll see him here. That puck just bounced. We've seen a lot of bouncing pucks tonight on this ice.
6:42 to go here in the third. Fiddler and Moore on the faceoff. Played off the boards by Dan Boyle. His pass was tipped by Travis Moen. Moore and Moen. Moen was able to take it away.
Miller now on the ice with Dominic Moore, who'll probably leave, and Hagelin on the other side. They can clear the puck out. I would assume Moore will head to the bench. Let's see if he goes for a change.
Boyle back to get it. Moore stays on. And Boyle forced back by Cody Eakin on Mark Stahl. Rangers 8-game winning streak on the line here with 6 minutes to go. The Stars leading 3-2. Rangers scored the first goal of the game. They've had a good record this season when scoring the first goal of the game. And here, Dallas Came back, took a 2-1 lead. Rangers tied it. It was 2-2 end of the first. Scramble around the net. And then Dallas scored a goal in the first minute of the second period. And it stood up to this point. McDonough carrying it. Goligoski tried to clear, stopped by Nash. Nash was tied up, and it's cleared out by Seguin. Nash tips it ahead of Brassard. Brassard finds Zuccarello. Stahl shot, saved by Lightning.
Beautiful pass. Zuccarello, a little tip pass to Stahl, breaking in on the other side.
Sevier tried to get it to Jamie Benn. Stahl back to break it up. Benn takes it back. Jamie Benn behind the net. Pass in front, save! Off the chest of Lundqvist on the shot by Seguin. He didn't get it cleanly. Good chance there for the league's leading goal scorer. Eric Cole with a break-in. Stahl stopped him with a great play. Oh, Eric Stahl. He has been outstanding.
So his brother
Eric Stahl. Yeah, Mark Stahl, excuse me.
Eric did score a goal tonight, the only goal for Carolina in their loss.
Puck was touched with a high stick. 4:38 to go in the third, and the Rangers still trailing 3-2. Longest winning streaks in Rangers history, 10, 1939-40, and January to February of 1973. So the Rangers' third longest in jeopardy here with 4:38 to go in the third. And the Rangers down 3-2. Stepan against Spezza. Jokipaka clears it out. Kevin Klein stepped into Eric Cole. Rangers have it back. Stepan. JT Miller and Kevin Hayes, the Rangers goal scorers, both in the first period. Trevor Daley, Kreider in on him quickly. Spezza lifts it ahead. Knocked down by Kevin Klein. He's ridden to the boards by Eric Cole. Kreider moves in. Puck still alive. Hemsky rolls it into the Rangers zone. John Moore back for it. Just under 4 minutes to go in the third. Girardi all the way across. Intercepted by Seguin. Moves in. Sevier. Colton Sevier saved by Lundqvist. Jamie Benn stopped by Lundqvist. Off the boards for Kevin Hayes. Hayes with Stempniak and Hagelin. Hagelin in after it, able to take it away, but he banked it off the back of the net. Up the boards, and Sevier comes out with it. Blocked by Stempniak. Played back by McDonough.
Ranger defense really trying to get involved in the play now.
McDonough picks up speed, fires it down the boards, letting it out to get it. McDonough tried to block it, goes up into the netting, but it was deflected. According to the referee, deflected by McDonough, out of play. This spring, Broadway's biggest spectacular will be at Radio City Music Hall, and you don't want to miss it. The New York Spring Spectacular, starring the Rockettes, March 12th through May 3rd. Visit Rockettes.com/spring. 3:12 to go. Rangers win the face-off, driven in by Stahl all the way around the boards. Goligoski tied up there. Brassard trying to keep it alive. Nash plays it behind the net. Garvin checks Nash. Klingberg trying to move it. Klingberg lifts it, and it goes into the Dallas bench, and the face-off stays in the Dallas zone. 2:49 to go.
Dallas, Girardi tries to make the cross-ice pass, intercepted by Tyler Seguin. 3-on-2 the other way. And eventually one shot in front, that's Sevier, and then Jamie Benn. Boy, he's had some chances in front, and he can't finish. Maybe he needs a new stick.
Maybe he wants to trade, get the other one back that he gave away to the fans. Stepan against Fiddler. False start on the face-off. Do it again. Stepan, St. Louis, and Kreider on for the Rangers. Stepan against Fiddler. Fiddler wins it into the corner. Chased down by St. Louis. Kreider had to go by him. Fiddler gets to it. Up ahead out of the zone. Sean Horkoff. McDonough back. Horkoff winds it deep. Travis Mullen with a hit on St. Louis. Klein trying to play it. Stepan is there. Kept in by Jokipaka. McDonough and Horkoff. 2:20 to go. Now Vernon Fiddler. Good job by Dallas keeping the puck in the Ranger zone. Time ticking off. Valuable time. Klein. Lead to Kreider. Kreider was slowed down by Hemsky. Skated right in front of him. Klein chips it off the boards to Kreider. He's stopped by Spezza. And once again, and we touched on it earlier, but Dallas doing a good job defending that one-goal lead. Rangers haven't had chances the last couple of minutes. Dallas clogging up the neutral zone. A minute 40 to go. Brassard around to Zuccarello. Zuccarello up ahead. Boyle tipped it in the zone. Lundqvist to the bench. Rangers net is empty. Around the boards it goes. Garber going for it. Garber to the empty net wide. Roussel checked by Boyle. Long shot by Eakin. Save made by Zuccarello. Boyle's got it. A minute 10 to go. Garber pressuring Boyle. McDonough fires. Knocked down by Eakin. Garber's got it again. Fires it across. McDonough pushes it to Nash. 1 minute to go. Nash got it out of the zone. Nash moves across and shoots. Glove by Lettman, and he covers up. He holds it with 51.8 to go.
He thought about maybe firing one at the empty net. As soon as he made the save, he dropped it. He looked up and then decided to put his glove over the puck and hold it for a whistle. So the faceoff will be in the Dallas zone.
And Alain Vigneault will use his timeout to talk things over. Coming up, following the action on the ice, we've got complete post-game coverage coming your way. Anchored by Bill Pito with Ron Duguay and Dave Maloney in the studio. Joe will have his analysis here in the arena. We'll hear from head coach Alain Vigneault. John Giannone will work the locker room, and we'll hear from the players. All coming up on Mercedes-Benz Rangers postgame immediately following the action. As associate coach Scott Arniel talks things over with his players.
Stars had a couple of chances with an empty net, and Matt Zuccarello says, all right, I better make a save here to keep this a one-goal game, which he does a nice job. And now the Rangers are going to have to, if they lose the face-off, they're going to have to find a way to get the puck back before Dallas can clear it.
Boyle and McDonough up high. Brassard, St. Louis, Nash, and Stepan, the forwards on the ice. Brassard taking the face-off against Cody Eakin. Jamie Benn blocked by McDonough. Cleared out. Seguin wide. Boyle pressured by Eakin. 38 seconds to go. Stepan. McDonough down the boards. McDonough gets to it. Stopped by Trevor Daley around the glass. And out of the zone.
Sam, I thought that play by Seguin should have been icing. I thought he was on the other side of the red line.
Ooh, never thought of that. Nash. That went off a skate. Blocked by Trevor Daley. Lifts it ahead to Jamie Benn. Out of the zone to Cody Eakin. Eakin. And that was blocked by McDonough. But the Rangers are going to run out of time. Seguin shot. Blocked by Boyle. And that's it. This one is over. The Dallas Stars hold on to beat the Rangers 3-2.
Well, Dallas got a good performance out of their goaltender. Again, it's been a shaky season for him. Sometimes he's been great, at other times not so great. Let's see Seguin here. Where is he? He's on the other side. Should have been icing.
Yeah, you're right.
That should have been icing. I mean, that's not even that close. I don't think it hit anybody. Did it?
Did it hit the stick of Stepan?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think he just missed it. That should have been an icing call. And there was still plenty of time left for the Rangers to get a face-off down in the Dallas zone. but not to be.
Rangers in a tough game against the Dallas Stars. And the Stars grabbed the lead early in the second period, and Kari Lehtonen made it stand up. We're coming back to Dallas right after these messages.